Well, hello everyone. I don't think you were expecting to see me on a Thursday. This is an unusual upload, kind of a bonus video. And it is an update of sorts and probably a little bit of a stream of consciousness as I go along. I don't have anything written down to say to you today, but I'm just gonna let it roll off the top of my mind and the top of my heart and just see how it goes. It's just gonna be a casual chat. First and foremost, where am I? I'm sitting in an Airbnb in Humboldt County, California. I am actually making my way back to my home base. And that is because I am calling off the rest of my expedition that I was currently on. I know that when I initially set out on this expedition, I had told you guys that it was going to be a long one, which was the original plan. I had originally planned to be out here for 6 weeks at the minimum, but probably 8 weeks, meaning 2 months. And I had a lot of things planned, actually. However, there has been some heavy stuff going on behind the scenes, and some of it I will share with you today, and some of it I'm going to probably still keep private. I'll share a little bit about it, but yeah, there's been a lot of heavy stuff going on behind the scenes. The first thing that I want to share about is that my father, my dad, passed away. He passed away while I've been on this expedition. That was not a surprise. That was expected. He has been suffering from frontal temporal dementia for quite some time now, and he took a big fall not too long ago. After that fall, he quit eating, and we knew that it was only a matter of time before he was gone, and it was getting very close to that when I hit the road. Fortunately, I was able to say my goodbyes to him before I left, and he was lucid during that conversation, which means a lot to me because there have been many conversations that we've had in the past couple of years where he doesn't make any sense, and some of them you can't understand a single word he said. It was very much mumbling. It was best to catch him in the morning, because sometimes if you caught him in the morning, he would actually be very lucid and you can hold a conversation with him. He understood who was calling him because he does have 6 children. Sometimes he would get us mixed up, and yeah, so it's been tough. We thought we were coming close to the end several times over the last couple of years, but I think that this time we knew that it was definitely coming. Even though I thought I was prepared for it and I knew it was coming, it was still much harder when I found out the news than I thought it would be. If you remember the video just a couple videos back when my computer broke down and I had to travel over to Olympia, I had found out that morning of my father's passing, and it was a rough morning. It was a really rough morning, and then the computer thing happened, and I just had to shift my focus to getting that situation handled and taken care of. It took my mind slightly off of my father's death, but it was just a weird, weird day. You might be able to see it in my face if you go back and look at that video now. Yeah, some tears were shed that morning, and yeah, it was just a very odd and very sad day. But I couldn't share about it at the time. I wasn't ready to share about it at the time. And if you've been following this channel for any length of time, I try not to make it so much about me and what's going on in my life, and hopefully make the star of the channel the beauty that I share with you all. That's really what I want to do. I want to bring the outdoors into your living rooms and share those experiences with you, and not so much the experiences of what is happening in my life. However, I do feel a sense of community with you all. I feel that many of you have been with me for so many years. Many of you feel like friends. A lot of you are friends, and we are friends. And I wanted to explain to you truthfully and transparently, one of the main reasons that I'm cutting this expedition short. A couple weeks have passed now, so I do feel more ready to share that information with you. My parents got divorced when I was 9 years old, so I never lived with my dad again after I was 9. We would go visit him as kids for the summer for a couple of weeks, and it was a strange thing because I never wanted to go because I didn't want to leave my friends and my mom and all of that. But once I did go and it came time to say goodbye to my dad, I was always sad that I had to say goodbye to my dad. And I think that's just a dynamic of divorce. There were years that my relationship with my dad was strained. I did have some anger towards him. I'm not going to get into all the details, but I, over the years, have forgiven him, and I know that he felt a great deal of remorse about maybe not being what he could have been when we were children in terms of, being a father. And I know that he was very remorseful and regretful over that, and he did even share that in our last conversation. He spent a lot of these last years really making sure that me and my siblings knew how much he loved us. Excuse me. All right, pulling it back together here. We have been planning what his celebration of life will be. My dad is originally from the South. His wishes were to have his ashes brought in a coffee can to his home in North Carolina where his parents are laid to rest, and I think some of his siblings as well. And he wanted his ashes spread there. So we've also, during this time that I've been here, been in the process of planning his celebration of life. We will go back east and we will do as he wished with his ashes. We're going to be meeting up with my cousins back there and one of my aunts and his only living sister, and we will celebrate his life. And I'm looking forward to that because we grew up on the West Coast and we didn't get to see my relatives on my dad's side in North Carolina very often. We didn't really get to form the close bonds with them that we did with my mom's brother's children, which we were very close to, and they were just more like an extension of our own family, and they were just like almost like additional siblings in our family. But we didn't really get that on my dad's side. However, I do remember going back there and visiting my cousins and my granny and my big daddy. That's what we called my grandma and grandpa back there, my dad's parents, and my cousins. And so it's going to be really cool to see them after all these years. The last time I saw them, I was a child. I think I was probably around 10, 11 years old maybe when I saw them last. So that will be a real treat. My dad grew up a country boy. I know they lived very rural. He joined the Navy when he was young, and I think that's how he met my mom here on the West Coast when he was in the Navy. And they had their first child when they were both 20 years old. My twin sister and I were the last of all our siblings, and my mom and dad were 29 when they had us. I need to take a break from all this chatting to make sure that I take my AG1, because AG1 helps with stress and mood balance, and that is something that I can really use right now. I'm so glad that AG1 makes it so easy for me to keep up on my healthy routine, even when I'm traveling, whether I'm here in an Airbnb like I am right now, or I'm in the backcountry, I'm at a campground. It doesn't matter where I am, I can always take my AG1 with me thanks to these awesome little travel packets that I don't go anywhere without. AG1 has been part of my morning routine for over 6 years now, and that is not going to change anytime soon. It is chock full of superfoods, vitamins and minerals, stress adaptogens, antioxidants, prebiotics, probiotics. It helps fill in common nutrient gaps. It's good for my gut health. I think all of that healthy goodness is an excellent reason that I make sure that I take my AG1 daily. I have people comment often on my calm demeanor, and with stress adaptogens like rhodiola that are not consumed in your regular daily diet, AG1 helps me to balance any type of stress that's going on in my life. I think it's super important for folks, whether you're traveling or if life is throwing you a curveball, to make sure that you take care of yourself. Guys, for years now, I have been sharing with you how important AG1 is to me. I highly recommend you trying it for yourself. And right now, through my link, you will get this awesome AG1 travel pouch along with 7 free travel packs and everything else that comes in your welcome kit. That's while supplies last, for a limited time only, and that comes along with everything else that you receive in your welcome kit. What are you waiting for, guys? Just do it. Thank you once again to AG1 for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to our chat. I don't think I've really had time to fully process all of this, and it's been hard out here because there hasn't been a whole lot of privacy. I've been camping at campgrounds primarily because there's not a whole lot of dispersed camping up in that part of Washington that I've been in, the Olympic National Park area. And I've been utilizing campgrounds, and they've been very busy and very crowded. There hasn't been a whole lot of privacy. So I was really hoping that on my backpacking trip that I just completed in Olympic National Park on the coast, that I was going to be able to relax and kind of just process all of this. That wound up being a fairly hard trip if you watched that video. So it wasn't as relaxing during the hiking portions of the trip as I had hoped. But not only that, while we were out there, I did get service for a short period of time. I was texting my family via my iPhone satellite to let them know that I was okay. I usually do that in the mornings and in the evenings. And I received some more very heavy news, some very stressful news while I was out there texting them. And that topic, I will get into it maybe down the road at some point. But it was just very stressful. It's still kind of ongoing. And so I wasn't able to relax on that trip. I was so remote into the backcountry. It was very difficult getting back in there, so it wasn't like a situation where I could just pick up and hike out and get to a place where I had service. We had to wait on tides and whatnot, so we wound up just leaving the trip as originally planned and in the days that we originally planned, because there was really nothing that I could do at that point about the situation. So yeah, that was just in addition to my dad's passing. I had that situation come up, and yeah, it's just been a time. Let me just say, it's been a time. I know you all tend to worry about me, so just to put your minds at ease, it has nothing to do with my health. My health is fine, and it will be resolved. I didn't know that initially. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but I do know that now, and everything's going to work out. It's all going to work out. There's still a little bit of stress happening as we speak, but in the long run, all will be well. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of that. But don't worry about my health. All that's fine. And maybe I will get to a point where I'm comfortable sharing that with you in the future. I know there are creators that pick up the camera at every moment and every turn of their life. They're more vlogging about their lives, and they share pretty much everything with the viewer. I think my channel is just a little bit different in that I've just not tended to be that way. For me, when things are going haywire, I kind of it's really the last thing I think about is picking up the camera. I have done that on occasion, but it's something that I do very few and far between. I just have not programmed my mind to do that, but it also is because I don't have that kind of a channel. I have a different type of a channel. I know that everybody's got stuff going on in their lives, and I think that people watch my channel as an escape. They don't want to see a ton of drama. They don't want it to be all about my everyday life. I know that you guys can tell me, I believe that you are here more for the beauty of the world that I share with you and the calming effect that my videos have for you. I get so many comments about how my videos bring calm and peace to your lives, or take you to places that you can no longer go anymore, or just let you, kind of clear your mind with the beauty of this world. And I really want to keep it that way. But I also know that you've invested in me as a person, and so I want to share some of myself with you as well, as much as feels comfortable for me at the time. The main reason that I'm calling this expedition off is obviously because of everything that I just shared with you, but I really feel the need to be at my home base and be somewhere where I feel very cozy at home and at peace with my surroundings. That's one of the reasons I rented this Airbnb on my way home. I just wanted to have a little bit more privacy, and it's a really good reason that I did purchase a home. I did need a place to rest and recharge. I didn't know it was going to be this soon during this expedition, but it was something that I really wanted. I think that for me, it's hard for me to deal with stressful situations and things like I'm dealing with right now, being out on the road, because being out on the road is a stress in and of itself in ways, because you don't always know where you're going to sleep that night or a few nights from now, and there's all of these things that you have to consider just to keep your life rolling from day to day, and that is extra added stress when you've got all these other things going on. And because I don't have to be out here right now and I can be home where it's comfortable and safe for me, that's a decision I've made to just go ahead and process this and just have a moment, just take a beat, as they say, and process all that's happening in my world. I love traveling and I always will travel. However, I do love having my little nest to fly back to for a sense of security when I need it. All of this has definitely got me thinking of like the pros and the cons of owning a home versus being on the road, because I've experienced both now, and I will probably make a video more in line with that topic and just go over some of those things in the future. But I can just say right now that having the ability to go home, have a home during very chaotic and heavy times, for me is definitely a plus. Also, the fact that my home is where it is makes a huge difference, because if I had a home in a city where life was chaotic, it probably would not have the same effect on me. But I only bought a home because of where it is and the peace that I'm surrounded by, and that is the difference, because it definitely makes a difference as to your living situation in terms of whether it feels chaotic or it feels peaceful. And that's why it was super important to me to have my home in a peaceful location and surrounded by areas that I can go escape into the backcountry or into the woods or into the mountains or by a lake, and it's all right there for me. I think I'm going to be taking advantage of that over these next couple of weeks for sure. If you're watching this on Thursday ahead of Sunday's normal upload date, which this coming Sunday would be August 2nd, I just want to let you know that I am not going to upload a video this coming Sunday. I'm just going to take a brief break, and I'm sure you can understand that. My nervous system has been put through the ringer, and it's just been very tense time, nervous time, and I really need to go and address that and just, you know, have some calm and calm my nerves a bit. Looks like I need to change my battery, so I'll be right back. All right, I've got my battery changed out, so we're back in business here. For the upcoming future, I only plan to skip the one Sunday. I will probably be in my home base area for a little while, but as you all know, and as I just mentioned, I live in a pretty amazing area, so I plan to do some adventures close to home for the time being. And I'm sure that's not going to last too long. I'm sure that at some point in the near future, I am going to want to get back on the road again. I do have something very cool planned for next month. It's already on the books, already scheduled. I did unfortunately cancel some plans that I had with my friends, the Reeves, due to everything that's happening right now. I would have had to travel a bit to get there, and I just don't feel like I'm in a good headspace to do that at the moment. So I unfortunately had to cancel on that, and I'll miss doing that trip with them because we usually do a trip every year together. But the year's not over, so maybe we can put something together later on in the year. I know they mentioned maybe coming to the Sierra to visit with me in the fall, so maybe that will happen. And I'm sorry that I missed that. But I think for this trip next month, unless something unforeseeable happens, which we know is always a possibility, there's something very cool coming up in September. And I just appreciate you all and wanted to keep you informed so that you knew why this expedition was ending. So I love you all. I thank you all for your support and your just warm comments. I have had so many amazing comments in the videos from this last expedition on my backpacking trip, which I'm really proud of that video. And yeah, you guys mean the world to me. So thank you. That was a mouthful, and I'm feeling a little drained from it, if I'm being completely honest. Thank you all so much. I will see you not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, and I will see you all on the next adventure. I love you all so much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thought I'd give you all a quick little tour of this bungalow or this studio. So my little studio is just this white part here across 8D. It's got a nice little patio overlooking the Avenue of the Giants, where all the awesome huge redwood trees are. Little red door, Humboldt, California. First to the left here, we have a nicely appointed bathroom. It does come with soap and shampoo and conditioner. Very clean, very nice. And then here's the little studio. A nice window here. Oh, there's a peach tree right outside the window. And here's the room, the main room, where everything happens. I have a nice 2-seater dining set here, a TV. This is kind of the closet area where got all my junk hanging out. Very cozy, comfy bed. Nice artwork here for the area. And then back here, it's just kind of a little hillside. Looks like maybe they have more fruit trees back here. Very cozy. And if I flip around here. That is the kitchen area. I've been making my own coffee. Well, I've only been here one night. I've made my own coffee with my little pot here, kettle. They do have a Keurig, but I don't use those Keurigs. And did a little cooking last night. Getting my work done here. It's very cute, very cozy. And the price was right too. There's not that many options in this area. That's my stuff on the ground. And there's the front door.